Okay, and we are recording MidSummer Solstice 2021. So, um, here at the 45th parallel, I should face for the replay. I should face um, partially. I have to remember, like, oh, I have to look this way. So, summer solstice, here at the 45th parallel, it feels like the beginning, and not even today. It feels like fall today, you know. So it doesn't feel very solstice. Um, but if you're familiar with the wheel here, the sun at the midwinter solstice, that's the shortest day, longest night, and then every day we get 2 minutes of sunlight, and it doesn't really seem to add up until about the beginning of February, and then you kind of start to notice it, right? And then we have the um, at the equinox, the spring equinox, so equal night. So it's equal day and equal night. So it's like the halfway point. And then here we are, midsummer solstice, and we have the longest day, shortest night. And depending on your calendar, because it started at like 11:30 something Sunday night, and then it ran through Monday. So it's kind of wonky. So your one calendar might say Sunday, it might say Monday. And thank you all for coming tonight, because originally I had it scheduled for Monday. I had to push it back because there was somebody who needed Monday night for yoga class. So thank you. And so now fall is going to be approaching. And I know we don't want to think about it yet. It feels like we just got summer started. So every day we're going to lose 2 minutes of light, approximately. And we're not going to really notice it until like the end of July, beginning of August. And then we'll be like, yeah, it is getting darker a little earlier. So so the ancient cultures from around the world. I mean, obviously everybody thinks of the solstice as for like Stonehenge, right? And even in New York City, they have what do they call it? They have a henge where, because the way that the streets are lined up, that the sun rises right. Yeah, I forget what they call it. Like yeah, I'll remember later. So so the ancients from around the world celebrated um, and chronicled. Like, how did the Mayans even keep track of all without a telescope? Like we don't know really to this day how they did all those. So it's very universal. Today we are going to focus on one aspect of the solstice because there's so many options, and that is midsummer tree. So we're going to do a little bit with the tree tonight, but first we can do a breathing exercise, kind of center ourselves, and it's called square breathing. So you can do this eyes open, eyes closed. You pick whatever's more comfortable for you. You can do this anytime you're stressed out, upset, um, anytime you feel off balance, anything like that. Um, and so it's called square breathing because you're going to breathe in for a count of 4, hold it for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, hold that for a count of 4. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, and you want to do 2s, that's okay. Do what you can. And some people who practice this can do it for very long, extended counts, but four is pretty standard, I feel. So if you want to close your eyes, if you want to keep your eyes open, you want to like move your head, roll your shoulders maybe, kind of get more relaxed. So we are going to, if you take an inhale, so in, 2, 3, 4, and hold it, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold that, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold it, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold it. 2, 3, 4. One more time. In, 3, 4, and hold it. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold it. 2, 3, 4. And then you can just breathe however. And even though I was talking through the whole thing, like there's just something about square breathing that just, to me, it's very relaxing. So, all right. Does anybody have any questions about anything so far? All righty. So, we are going to do a grounding and centering exercise. And there's different ways to do this. And if there's one that you're already familiar with and you want to do it instead of what we're doing tonight, I honor that. A lot of times people will think of grounding like creating roots into the earth, going through the earth all the way to the center of the earth. And we're gonna tweak on that a little bit. We're gonna use the tree. So each one of you is gonna be your own tree, and what you can be whatever tree you want to be. If you remember Barbara Walters or have ever heard of Barbara Walters, one of the questions she would ask people, pick a tree, what tree would you be? So you can be whatever tree you want to be, and you can change whatever tree you are, because sometimes you need to be strong like an oak, and sometimes you need to be flowy and flexible like a willow. So whatever tree suits you today is fine. So we're gonna, so if you're familiar with the axis mundi, which means the center post of the universe. But here's the cool thing: if you are into astrophysics like I am, Neil deGrasse Tyson will tell you that everywhere is the center of the universe, which sounds cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs because, well, there has to be a center, right? But so spiritual people will tell you that you're the center of the universe, and you're the center of the universe, you're the center of the universe, not center of my universe, right? You're the center of your universe. And Neil deGrasse Tyson will tell you that everywhere you are is the center of the universe. So we're going to use this axis mundi, which is a pole, kind of like that peace pole out on the balcony. So if you want to think about your spine being that pole, and if you feel comfortable sitting, you may sit. If you feel more comfortable standing, you may do so. So I'm just going to check, make sure we don't have any nasty people here. No, okay, all right. So I don't have to make sure that they are on the same page. All right, so anybody feels comfortable standing? Okay, that's all right. So, all right, so we have east, and if you extend your arms like a T, yes, and if you, that's okay, yeah, your choice. So if you extend your arms like a T, and then you would visualize the energy of the east flowing into you. So what does east mean to you? Traditionally, it's dawn, it's beginnings, it's new life, it's air, it's the like bright colors like yellow, birds. So bring that eastern energy into your body. If you want to visualize a certain color, certain animal, particular winged creature, could be a bird, it could be a butterfly. You could see blowing curtains, wind. And then when you're ready, I want to make sure everybody has enough time. Okay. And so if you're ready, you would make a clockwise quarter turn to south. And I don't have, do believe we're, I forgot to check on my compass.
Well, you know that's east, so, because.
Yeah, I know we're running east to south, but like the exact direction with my compass. So same thing. You may sit, you may stand, and open your arms. And now you are on that compass point, and bring in that southern energy, that warmth, the noonday sun. You feel the sun on your skin. If you want to think of summer, because that's the traditional time of year, and the traditional time of day is noon. Pulling that energy to you, filling yourself with all the energy of south. If there's an animal, you don't have to go with salamander, you can go with a fire breathing dragon. Whatever southern fire color speaks to you. You know, with red, oranges. No rush. And when ready, we're gonna make a quarter turn. Now we have west. So again, if you have your arms out, if your arms get tired, you can lower them. And we have west. Traditionally, this is water. The time of the year is autumn. The time of day is sunset. You can think of fall colors like browns. And then water, you can think of even if you want to stay traditional with like fish, aquatic life, wildlife, or even mermaids, whatever resonates with you, or water. Fill that into your body. If you think of waves, you can let the waves wash over you. Seashells, sandy beaches, driftwood. If you're ready, our last direction. So one more quarter turn. And I know we're staring at water. So if it's easier for you to close your eyes, to visualize the traditional aspects of Earth. So find your center pose. Have your arms out to the side if you are comfortable doing so. And breathe in to bring into yourself the associations of earth and north. So traditionally, colors would be more green. The time of year is winter. The time of day is midnight. If you want to think of mountains, snow-capped mountains, or even dwarves mining those mountains for jewels. Mother Earth gives us the crystals and gemstones. She gives us the herbs to heal ourselves. If there are animals that you associate with North and Earth, plant our tree. So we brought in our 4 directions. We have above, below, and center. You can sit, you can stand. I like to stand for this one myself, but I've done it seated. And if you think of the upper world, the celestial realms, the clouds, the stars, the nebulas, and you reach up with your branches just like a tree, lifting, feeling the sun come down, the sun trickling on every one of your branches, your leaves, pulling that energy down through all your bark, your leaves, your branches, all the way down into your body, to your head, to your neck, into your shoulders, down your arms, all the way down into your rib cage, through your torso, your midsection, into your hips, into your thighs, all the way down your legs, into your ankles and your feet. And now take those feet and turn them into roots. If it's not comfortable, you can lower your arms. Don't feel you have to keep them up the whole time. Take those roots all the way down in through the earth, past the rocks, past the earthworms, all the way down to the very center core of Mother Earth, that molten lava. So our closest sun is actually the molten lava at the center of Mother Earth. Tap into that vibrant energy and then pull that up through your roots. Up, 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 all the way up through the rocks and cracks and crevices, all the layers of earth and soil, past the earthworms, past the water, all the way up into your feet and your toes, filling you up through your ankles, through your calves, your thighs, your hips, your pelvis, all the way up into your midsection, filling up through your rib cage, into your shoulder blades, up through the arms, up through your neck, up to the top of your head. And you have Father Sky and Mother Earth energy, and everything meets at the center, at your heart. And if you want to use this visualization, and I will send this to you with the replay, you can say, above, below, I am the tree, a perfect center meets in me, south, east, north, and west, I am balanced, I am blessed. So if you want to say it after me, above, below, I am the tree.
Above, below, I am the tree.
A perfect center meets in me. South, east, north, and west, I am balanced, I am blessed. All right, how does everybody feel? Well, we've got some stuff to burn.
Yes, we do. Here for the part.
All right. Okay, so I'm still gonna call the 7 directions. I don't like the candles. I'm gonna skip over that part. So if you wish to stay seated or if you wish to stand with me, we're gonna take our direction or our intention to the directions. So we're gonna start with these. We're gonna go clockwise. So if you wish to have your arms and so whatever feels comfortable to you is perfectly fine. Spirits of the East, hear us and send us your wisdom. Spirits of the East, hear us. Beautiful. Quarter turn. We have South. Spirits of the South, hear us and lead us on our path. Spirits of the South, hear us and lead us on our path. Beautiful. A quarter turn. We have West. Spirits of the West, hear us and make us ready for the journey. Spirits of the West, hear us and make us ready for the journey. And a quarter turn. We have earth and north. Spirits of the north, hear us and purify us with your cleansing winds.
Spirits of the north, hear us and purify us.
I know that was a little longer. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. So we have the upper world or above. If you want to think of Father Sky, spirits of the sky, hear us and make us strong.
Spirits of the sky, hear us and make us strong.
If you're comfortable touching the ground, you may. If you're not, you can just have your hands towards the ground. Sorry. Mother Earth, hear us and lend us your support.
Mother Earth, hear us and lend us your support.
All right, then we have center. You want to think the middle world where we are right now. Oh, thank you. I don't know where that came from. So may it be beautiful before us.
Beautiful before us.
May it be beautiful behind us.
May it be beautiful behind us.
May it be beautiful below us.
May it be beautiful below us.
May it be beautiful above us.
May it be beautiful above us.
May it be beautiful all around us.
May it be beautiful all around us.
And in beauty, it is finished.
And in beauty, it is finished.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Oh, I'm getting chills and it's not just going to chill me outside. All right. So we have I told you a little bit, we spent a little bit here connecting with the tree of life. And traditionally people will think of, you've ever seen the May Day celebrations where there's a pole and then there's the ribbons and people are going, oh, that's squirrel. He's in my plant.
Is that what you were saying?
No, I'm pretty sure that there's, well, I saw animals in the water and I was trying to figure out what kind of animal that is. He's a very naughty little squirrel. Okay. You're a bad boy. He's, yes, I have those beautiful purple plants out there and he's ruining that one. And I'm rubbing it and I just got centered. Okay.
Thank you, universe, for the squirrels.
Yes, the naughty squirrels that ruin my plant. Okay. So, but there was also an ancient tradition of having the same maypole for the midsummer solstice as well. And there were even like this village had one and this village had one. And if you think about it, a lot of times there was in the center square of like a town square, there's usually some sort of obelisk type thing. And that goes back to trees. So people would either have a special tree, and some people would have a special tree in their yard. Like the Finnish would have a special tree, and that was I forget what their word was for it. So you can think of it as a maple, if that's easier, but it's so the midsummer tree. A lot of times it was a birch tree, but it honestly could be any birch. And so then as things changed and Christianity came in, it got turned into associated with St. John's Day instead of midsummer. And people would decorate it kind of like a Christmas tree, right? So they decorate it with ribbons and flowers. And then on top, instead of an angel, on top was a rooster. Yeah, which is kind of, and if you've ever wondered why, like you don't see it anymore, but back in the day, you would on top of everyone's house was a weather vane with a rooster. And then I always thought as a kid, well, what's with the rooster, right? Not that I hate roosters, but I just thought that, well, that's interesting. So it was a sacred bird, not just to the Celts. And it's associated with the sun because, they grow with sunrise. Sometimes they make a lot of noise. And going back to like this village had one, this village had one. So sometimes the people from this village would go to this one, steal your pole, and take it back to their village And then you were like, so if somebody stole your pole, then you would have to go get her pole. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like a friendly rivalry, if you will. So, so I lost my place. So if you lost your midsummer tree or pole, then you were not allowed to make a new one until you sold somebody else's. So not very nice, not very friendly. So there would be people that guarding them all night long. So they were decorated, people danced around them. There were fires, bonfires. So a lot of times, the equinoxes and solstices celebrated with a lot of fire, and at night, especially the Celts, they would celebrate from sunset until the rooster crowed in the morning. So they could party hardy. All right. So if you think about it, that's your axis mundi, the axis of so mundi means world. Sorry, I didn't say that before. So that's your center pole that links you with your four directions and of the heaven, earth, and the underworld. All right. So all over Europe, this took place, and MidSummer, because they were decorated with flowers and whatnot, it's because the vegetated life force of spring and summer is so vibrant right now. And it's very much linked with fertility, because if the earth is fertile, you have enough food to get through the winter, right? And so with your axis mundi, with your midsummer tree, you're joining the worlds of the physical world with the world of the gods, and so that way you can strengthen that connection with them. So even though we're doing like a more Celtic tradition tonight, I mean, whatever speaks to you from around the globe is, because it's going to be your axis and your axis. And even if you don't know who you're connecting with yet. Okay. All right. Oh, and then MidSummer was the time that, to the Celts, that the god and goddess got married. And so that's why June is traditionally, even to this day, the month that you get married. And that's where that comes from. All right. So about the rooster, he very ancient, around the world, with a connection to the sun, resurrection, daybreak, not just to the Celts, but also the Greeks. And because the night it can be scary, people. It was thought that when the rooster crowed, it scared away anything that was that might harm you, right? So it was thought that the rooster could protect you from negativity, such as like boogie ghosts or something like that. So with the light of a new day, because it was felt that with the sun drives those negative energies away. And I want to make sure I cover everything. So he's also your protector. And because one rooster, you only need one rooster for all of the chickens. So he's also associated with fertility. And then as Christianity took over, Christians saw it as the rooster's reminder to stay vigilant, keep the spirit first, because apparently it was the rooster that crowed when Peter denied Christ 3 times. And then it was also believed that the rooster would crow to announce Judgment Day. So even though it was out with the old and new, in with the new, they still hung on to some of these associations. And then the Greeks saw the rooster associated with the war god Ares, which I did not know this until I did my research, because I don't think of Ares as a rooster, right? Especially if you're like me and you watch like every episode of Xena Warrior Princess, right? I just don't see him as associated with the rooster. So I thought that was really interesting. But it was his job. The rooster was assigned the job of watching over Aphrodite. So again, protection.
And
So,
roosters offer a lot of protection. I raised many roosters.
oh, okay, all right. So you're gonna be a rooster.
I am. Henning is my last name.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
And my parents are in charge of the chicken
Oh,
there,
that
so,
is
yeah, I don't need
hilarious.
much.
Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. Okay. And then there is the rooster sign in the Chinese zodiac. And then we have our prayer ribbons. So traditionally, someone would take clothing that was just too worn out, and you would make strips of cloth with that. And then back in the day, you know, if you had colored clothing, it was because it came from something natural, like onion skins or something like that. And so I did get, this does not look like traditional ribbon, it's made of burlap. So I went as safe as I could. And so we are going to purge the icky things that we don't want in our life anymore. And we're going to fill the ribbons with what we do want. And you get to take them home and you get to tie them to a tree loosely. Because the idea is that it will decompose. And before it does that, as the wind blows, your wishes, it will be taken onto the wind into the universe. So, or if you don't have a tree and you just you want to do with your ribbon something else that works for you, that is also okay. All right. So we have our releasing. And so let me make sure everybody has a pen. And you can use okay. You're welcome. And this paper burns really nicely. So we don't have to worry about like setting the store on fire. In fact, I'm gonna you can get my coffee. Get my coffee paper. Okay. So these can be bad habits. It can be people that are not good for you, and you're not wishing them harm. Sometimes we are very clear as to what we want to remove, and then there are other times that we're not so sure. So if you're not sure, don't feel bad, don't feel the pressure. You may simply say you release all blockages from your soul's purpose. And by simply putting that out there, you're putting that intention. Because you do have free will. And if there is something that's not good for you, but you hang on to it, it's yours. But by putting that out there, you have your angels, your ascended masters, spirit guides, beloved ancestors, then they can start working on your behalf. And if you think of something after, like, darn, I should have written down this. Here's the cool thing. There really is no such thing as time, the way we think of it. We've been raised to, like learn how to tell time, right? And now we have satellites orbiting the Earth, keeping track of what time it is. Where the ancient cultures didn't really have like chronological time. They had, time to eat, time to sleep, like time to get something accomplished. And yes, there is the god Chronos of the Greeks who gave us, and that's where we get the word chronological time. They also, and I always forget his name, they also had another god at the time. He was more cyclical. So you can, if something comes later, you can do this later. And if you're not able to root something, you can always just release it and send it on its way. All right. Did I give everybody enough time? Awesome. Okay. So you don't have to share with anybody. If you don't want to share, that's okay. So we're gonna burn these as you feel comfortable, and this paper burns really nicely. And if you feel so inclined to chant with me, so I'm going to start, and I'll keep chanting. And when you feel comfortable, when you feel ready, don't feel pressure like, I have to go. You pick when you are ready. I'll keep chanting, and then you can visualize one by one them going away. So fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn it ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Keep going. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. One more time. Fire, burn the ill away. Fire, burn it gone. As the darkness gives away, comes the rising sun. So mote it be. Ooh. It sounds like a dog. Yeah, close it. I don't want you to get cold. Did you notice everybody's burned a little different? Yeah. Yeah, yours was smoldering. Awesome. How do we feel?
Is there significance to the way it burns?
Well, that would mean like, because I don't want anybody to share anything I don't feel comfortable sharing. But I would say yes, that if how do I want to say it? Because yours, it took right off, but it was also very, very smoky, and it's all the same paper, right? And yours took a little bit to get going, and boom, right? So I would say that that means something to you, right? And they all of them burned down. It's not like oh well, this one kind of didn't really go. You know what I mean? So the intention was there. Yeah. But so I would say ponder on that, you know. Yeah. All right. And sometimes it's hard to let go. So maybe it was just just needed a little extra nudge, right? All right. Awesome. All right. We humans love to burn things. So you can release in other ways, like if you have a river and you have leaves, you can always blow something into the leaf and set it and let it watch it go. So it doesn't always have to be fire. All right. So All right, so we have. I have enough for each of you to have two, and then I can always do this at home. So, everybody, you can grab one or two ribbons, you decide, and you can pick whichever. I'm not going to hand them out. I want you to.
Speaks to you.
Yeah, but I know, like whatever ribbon speaks to you.
Can I grab from your side?
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So, no, that's
that's
fine. That's fine, because you can put in 1 or 100 wishes into your ribbon. It
Oh.
doesn't matter, right? And so I just there he is. Oh, okay.
He's just wondering.
Oh,
what
look
we're
at him.
doing.
No, he's ruining that
He's
plant.
not even fertilizing.
He's very annoying. All right. Oh,
They are? Yeah.
yeah, they're
They're bigger.
naughty. Yeah, they're bigger. Yes, they're naughty too, but they're cuter about it. All right, so we have. All right, so we have our ribbons, and so you can take these home and loosely, so you're not hurting the tree, tie them around a tree limb, but just make sure it's not going to be too taut, so you're not hurting the tree. And if you feel like if you don't have a tree in your yard, like you don't have a yard, let's say you live in an apartment, you could always, hang it somewhere in the house, or even take it out into the wind and just hold it there and releasing your wishes. So we released the things that we didn't want by burning, but you can also release something that you do want by releasing it into the universe, so it can be carried by the wind to anywhere on the globe or to the universe, spirit guides, angels, ascended masters, beloved ancestors. So, and if you already have a list in your head, or if you have like one thing, or if you want to add later, if you're like, oh, why didn't I think of this? So, I'm gonna borrow from Kathy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so funny that she brought up ribbons last night, because I had this planned for a long time now. So if you start from the middle, and whatever your wishes are, you can have one and say it over and over and over again, quietly to yourself or inside, and just inside your own mind, and just start from the middle and then come out to the ends and then do that again. You can do it as many times as you feel. If you're like me and you love the number 3 or 3 times 3, because that's a very Celtic number, and you don't have to share. You can even blow into the ribbon if that's more comfortable to you, blowing your wishes into it, because it's going to be later carried by the wind anyway. So it's your breath to the breath of Mother Earth. So no timer, no clock, whatever, however much time you need. Their wishes, okay. So we're gonna bring a little fire back in. We're gonna burn these, but we're gonna ignite these wishes within ourselves, right? So there's a fire. I basically, if you want to think like in your heart, because that, if you're familiar with the chakras, you have 3 chakras below your heart, 3 chakras above your heart. You meet right here in the middle. I like to think of there's a spark in your heart chakra. Some people call the heart chakra, the Christ consciousness chakra, is it's love, like love for everybody. And so you can visualize this fire, whatever color. Fire does not have to be a particular color, because especially if you use different chemicals, like minerals, you can have all sorts of colors for fire. There's even foxfire, or the aurora borealis, which looks like the sky is on fire. So we're going to solidify our wishes into our ribbons. And so if you repeat after me, bright within me burns the fire.
Right within me burns the fire.
I set into motion my desire.
I set into motion my desire.
My soul's purpose is now found.
My soul's purpose is now found.
For my highest good, I am bound.
For my highest good, I am bound.
So I believe in the power of 3. We're going to say it 2 more times. And each time, get a little bit louder. Because nobody but that squirrel's going to hear us.
Right.
Okay?
And the heavens.
Well,
we go.
yes. Okay.
The sun's coming out.
That's true.
Perfect.
The sun's coming out.
Yeah.
Bright within me burns the fire.
Right within me burns the fire.
I set into motion my desire.
Set into motion my desire.
My soul's purpose is now found.
My soul's purpose is now found.
For my highest good, I am bound.
For my highest good, I am found.
One more time. Bright within me burns the fire.
Right within me burns the fire.
I set into motion my desire.
I set into motion my desire.
My soul's purpose is now found.
My soul's purpose is now found.
And for my highest good, I am bound.
And for
For my highest good, I am found.
All right. So again, do what you feel called to do with your ribbons. Whether you keep them, you tie them, however you want to. They are now your magic wishes. Okay. All right. So it's always nice to, when you receive, to give. So there's an even exchange. So if you feel so inclined to, when you go home and you tie your ribbon to the tree, maybe put some bird seed down around the tree, or maybe some fertilizer, something like that, to offer your gratitude, your thanks. Or if you wanted to even like write a poem and recite that, right? Whatever you feel called to do in exchange for your wishes. I do encourage you, if you feel that calling to do so. I personally, because I live in a very rural area, I do have a lot of wildlife. Not the big squirrels, not the big, I have little chipmunks, and I have raccoons. I've even had a bear come by on occasion. So yeah. But so it can be wildlife, or it can be some other form of giving. So at this point, we can go ahead and release our directions because we finished our working. So and then afterwards, if we feel inclined to share, you don't have to, but you may do so, and I can even stop the recording for that portion if you feel more comfortable doing that. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna go backwards. I have this typed up the same, but I do want to go in reverse order. All right, so we have center, and if you wish to repeat after me, that is fine. We honor and hail the direction of center and ether, the essence of all things. Sorry, that's kind of long. We honor and hail the direction of center and ether, the essence of all things. That's okay. Ether. Yeah, it's okay. Yes. Easter candy. All right. The realm of the higher form of fire. The realm of the higher form of fire, the creative spirit.
The creative spirit.
We thank you for all that we have and all that we will receive. Thank you for all that we have and all that we will receive. All right. Then we have north. We honor and hail the direction of north and elements of earth. We honor and hail the direction of north and the elements of earth, the growing of all things,
The growing of all things.
the realm of caves and crystals and abundance.
The realm of caves, crystals, and abundance.
We thank you for all that we have and all that we will receive.
We thank you for all that we have and all that we will receive.
Beautiful. And we have west. We honor and hail the direction of west and the elements of water. We honor and hail the direction of west and the elements of water, the ending of all things,
The ending of all things.
the realm of the womb, emotions, and the subconscious.
The
The realm of the womb, emotions, and subconscious. We thank you for all that we have and all that we will receive.
We thank you for all that we have and all that we will receive.
Beautiful. And we have south. We honor and hail the direction of south and the elements of fire. We honor and hail the direction of south and the elements of fire. The light of all things.
The light of all things.
The realm of heart and healing.
The
Heart and healing. We thank you for all that we have and all that we will receive.
We thank you for all that we have and all that we will receive.
Beautiful. And we have east. We honor and hail the direction of east and elements of air. We honor and hail the direction of east and the elements of air, the beginning of all things.
The beginning of all things.
The realm of mental intuition and the rising sun. The realm of mental intuition and the rising sun. We thank you for all that we have and all that we will receive.
We thank you for all that we have and all that we will receive.
All right. Beautiful. So, if you're more comfortable, I can stop the recording now. If anybody feels comfortable sharing. And nobody has to share.
I just ended a engagement, been married twice, and then engaged 4 times altogether, but I ended that in February, and I am releasing that and I'm inviting a positive relationship.
Very good.
It's
Very
not
good.
that's like the positive relationship hasn't come into my life yet, but I'm inviting it. It's
Yes.
going to be
Yes.
emotionally
Very good for you.
and honoring.
Yes,
you.
yes, because we all do deserve, no matter what other people have told us, we all do deserve that true love, respect, honor.
And nothing short of it.
Yes, so good for you.
I'm letting go of toxic relationships and like friendships and stuff, and I'm bringing in new friendships.
Beautiful. Very, yes, I'm just, woo, because
Yep.
you're so young.
Yes, that's awesome. I was gonna say the same thing. So I wish that I was
I
where you
know.
were then
Yes.
and not doing it now. So,
But since there is no such
Yeah.
thing as time,
right?
Right.
Perfect.
we
timing.
can heal, because everything that happened to us, we learned from.
Yeah,
We,
oh,
we-
yeah.
we became stronger,
shaped
but at the
us.
same time, we can go back and heal those,
Mhm.
which will make you even more receptive to, mhm, mhm,
I was having a hard time writing stuff down or letting go because I knew that what I let go is what was the catalyst to create,
Yeah.
mm.
you know,
Mhm.
so. And one of the things that I wanted to invite in is I have been told on repeated occasions that I am very, that I was like a shaman or something in another realm.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping to get in touch with that.
Oh,
And so I let go of my inhibitions.
beautiful.
Ah.
So
We'll
it's
see.
possible the reason you had inhibitions is like there could have been something in this life when you were young that you were told, oh, it's hooey or it's bad.
Correct.
And then there could have been in a previous life, it could have been where your life was ended against your will because of, yeah. Because we have a discussion group on Mondays and we were talking about this last night.
Oh.
So
So I
it
should
is-
have come on Monday
Oh,
too.
it's
You can
it's
totally
so
come on
good.
Mondays.
We
You
have
can totally come on
I
Mondays.
have fun. Do you have fun? I have so much fun. I have so much. I love it.
7:15. And then I can absolutely send you an email with, if you can't join in
Is
person.
it the
it's
yoga thing?
It's after yoga.
Oh, okay.
It's after yoga.
I didn't see it on
And-
the calendar. I don't know. What's
It,
it called?
Magical Community Q&A discussion group. Probably going to change the name after a while, but it's not a class. Eventually, because we did discuss last night, okay, we do want a class. So the Earth sign is going to come up with a syllabus. What's that?
I'm a
She's a
Taurus.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right. I'm a Capricorn.
I'm
Um,
not.
Oh. But I also have shiny moments. What was I talking about? Okay, Monday night. So, so it's a discussion group. It's as well as we're also we can also have some activities. It's for people that we've had a huge uptick of people just buying books here in general, but our magic section is overloaded. Like it's we even had to add a shelf, there's so many people interested. And when I first started, there was diddly squat for books. And now we have a bazillion books, and then people come in and they're like, I don't know which book to buy.
Yeah.
Right.
And I want to learn more about this. They don't know where to start.
Yes. So that's
Yeah.
where this birthed from, is just trying to give people a place
Knowledge.
to
Share.
itch, because it's not a class yet, but kind of just chatting and kind of getting to know, like, where do you even want to go? So
I just like
Yeah.
getting comfortable with the idea.
yeah.
Getting
Yeah.
comfortable with the
Mhm,
idea.
mhm.
And it's been really enjoyable.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's
That's why I asked about the flames, because I've been doing some candle work. So-
yeah. So watch what your candle does. If it spitters and sputters, or if it wiggles and jiggles, then
There's
it-
significance.
yes, yeah. And so it depends on what you're working on, as well as, like, you can also like some people read cards, other people can read flames. So it kind of depends if you're not working on anything and your flame is dancing and trying to get your attention, it could be some sort of like message trying to come through, even. Yeah. Depending on what what you're working on at the moment.
Those were noticeable in the taper candles. The ones that I bought the other day,
Mhm.
they stayed pretty still.
Mhm.
Maybe
Okay.
because I'm staring at it. I'm staring at it for 3 minutes. And I'm supposed to move for 5 minutes now, but.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I mean, so it's
I feel like it's
just
really
because it's
protected.
not moving doesn't
Yeah.
mean it's not working.
Right. Oh, no, I
Yeah.
believe it's working. I believe it's
Yeah.
working. People haven't noticed it, so.
Okay.
I just didn't know because of like the air when, as the candle starts to burn down, the air kind of, I mean, energy, I know plays an effect also, but the elements all together, it's kind of a controlled environment.
Okay. All right. And then if you don't have to.
No,
if you
that's
feel-
okay. I thought it was funny that it's smoldering, because I'm trying to let go of the past. Trying to let go of that anger about the past.
Okay.
That's something, and that was,
So maybe that's why it did smolder, because you have like, is trying, I'm gonna get a little Yoda-ish here, but there is no try.
She yoded me yesterday.
And it's funny because you're like, well, he's a puppet, but he's a very wise puppet. Because if you say you're trying, you just never get to wherever it is, right? You just never get to that end result. And so we're just so used to saying, well, I'm just trying to get this done, or I'm just trying to get this printer to work. And you know what I mean? Like whatever it is. And so something that, and I, so I say it too, and I'm like, oh, I said it again. So I'll catch myself saying trying. And so the trick is to whatever your end result is, because trying is here and your end result is here, and to find that and pull that towards you, right? So using current language,
I'm letting it, I let it go.
yes, I release. I
Okay,
release, yeah. So trying still keeps it here. And so maybe that's why it was a little smoldering, because it's like in between. It's
Yeah.
like not sure,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And I catch myself saying trying as well. Kathy, if she hears me saying trying, she's like, nope. She'll call me out on it. So no judgment there. That's and I totally get it. Especially like if you've been wronged and you are like I struggled with forgiveness for very, 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 very long time, because I'm like, that person had free will, and that person chose to do X, Y, and Z. And I thought that forgiving them would mean it was okay. And it's not. Because when you forgive somebody, you're not doing it for them. You're really just doing it for you. And so I understand, so I using those affirmations kind of sound willy-nilly sometimes. We're using the current, like, not like I will, I am. Yeah.
I release.
Yes.
I release
Yeah.
shame. I release
Mm,
anger. I release you. I release.
Yeah. And maybe, and that's awesome. If you're feeling anger in that moment, okay, it's summer and there's some crazy drivers, right? This person, if you're familiar with 72, because I drive from Kalkaska, this person was trying to pass me on the right. You know what I mean? Like there's.
Don't look at me, I don't do that. I don't do that.
Yeah, when they're standing still, we can pass on the right, but now as we're actually going down the road.
Correct. No. And I even looked it up afterwards, because I'm like, I know you're not supposed to do this. So, because it's not 2 lanes, it's 1 lane passing on the right, and I'm he's whizzing past me, and then he gets in front of me and sticks his arm out and like really like,
Whoa.
you know what I mean, like super angered. I just laughed because I'm like, you're the ridiculous nut job. You just went past me like 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And right? Like,
Uh-huh,
I just laughed it off, but there was a time that I would not laugh.
right.
And now when people make me a little nervous, I just Reiki them as I'm driving.
Yeah.
I just Reiki them, not trying to mess with their free will, but to protect them, to protect the other
Everybody else,
people.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I feel I need to clarify here.
yeah.
Somebody else was passing, and yeah. So what I was just driving somebody else. That's why she was thinking, somebody else. Not me.
Okay.
Just I need to clarify.
All good. You
Yeah.
get it. If you're a driver, you
Shame
get
on
it.
you.
Yeah.
Throwing that stink eye.
All right. How does everybody feel?
Great.
Super. Yay. So happy. It's day after solstice.
Thank you, you too.
And thank you for coming. And then I will send you the replay and then also send you information about our Monday. And Monday nights are free. Yeah, we just we meet here after yoga. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean if you want to come to yoga, you can.
My wishes. I
I wish to not keep putting food into my mouth. I know, I get it. I should stop like ice cream.
Well, I will tell you, like, in 2019, the company I worked for, this is where I worked here, the company I worked for 7 years, went bankrupt, and so that was in the spring that I lost my job, and I had the summer, and I was like, okay, I have this time off, and I'm going to be super active, and I'm going to do this thing called keto, where it was super like strict. If you know anything about keto, there's different variations. Like some folks do like cheating keto, and this was super strict, and only eating 2 meals a day.
Oof.
And all you can eat is meat and vegetables, and not every vegetable. Like I had to give up peas.
All the high sugar vegetables.
Yeah, and I didn't, and it didn't work.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it didn't work. Like I lost a teaspoon of weight, and then I had no energy because you need some carbs for energy. So you know what? Don't beat yourself up. You have some ice cream.
Oh,
It's not, you know what
I
I
have
mean?
a
Like
lot
if
of
you
ice
only
cream.
ever eat vegetables, and it works for some people. It
I-
works for some people. I don't know any personally, but I'm just saying.
I know.
like,
I know.
I know
Gotta be a
people.
hope out there somewhere.
I know people that've done keto and they're like, oh, I'll never do that again. You know, because it didn't work for them.
It worked
But-
for me, but I had to do a lot of. I did a figure show. It worked for me, but it was a lot of sacrifice, and it was a very negative mindset. Even though I chose to do it free will,
Yeah.
I was still very upset that I couldn't have all the other things I wanted.
So well, I'm glad it did work. Now I know
Yeah.
somebody.
Well,
did work for it.
I thought I was working out. I was lifting and cardio and all the things came together.
Okay.
It wasn't
So-
it's not a sustainable lifestyle.
No.
It's not a sustainable lifestyle anyways. You
Yeah.
can't, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
So, do you have ice cream and the next day you have salad? I think
Thank you.
I
I appreciate that. And we all agree? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
See,
And I said so.
Awesome. Thank
All right.
you.
Well, I'm going to stop recording.